What's up, everybody? This is Eric the Unit Norris, your host for SLC Punkcast, Live and Wired, and Tales from the Pit. I am happy to be joining you today while I regale you with some tales from my last weekend's live show excursions. It was pretty fun. 2 shows in 2 nights, vastly different shows, but quite a lot of energy, quite a lot of good times to be had. And then after that, I will tell you about shows that are going to be happening in and around the Salt Lake area and any one of our neighboring cities, usually up in Ogden. And sometimes we have our friends go out into the wild blue yonder and bring their sound, the sound of Salt Lake, to other states. But before that, I'm going to talk about my 2 tales from the pit. One was a country show and another was a hardcore show. And I would say it's like, given this title, we'll just call it like, there was a gothic cowgirl and homicidal stereos. So we'll go with that title, leave it at that. So, the first show, the country show, was a show that my girlfriend, KATE LEDEUCE, put together. It was a 3-band bill with Sarah DeGraw and the Rubes and herself. And it was something that had been in the works for about a month and a half, almost 2 months. She wanted to put this together just like a simple 3-band country show, and it went off. It was a really good show. Sarah DeGraw it was just her, and I'm not sure the relation with her partner, the fellow who was up on stage playing electric guitars in conjunction with her acoustic guitar and her singing. It was a beautiful serenade, just lovely Americana type music. It was nice. It was a nice scene setter, mood setter, if you will. The Rubes were also pretty fun. More southern twinge of rock and roll type music. You think Molly Hatchet, you think the Allman Brothers or the Byrds, stuff like that. That was very much their vibe, very much their style. And I do love, I like music like that. I don't love a lot of it. I have some, it gets pretty stale, especially after the 70s, those types of bands just become Lynyrd Skynyrd rip-off or worship bands. It's like, just stop. That music already happened. There's no need to revive it unless you're really good at it. And the Rubes were good at it. That's not me trying to talk shit on anyone starting a band like that is similar sounding. There still are a lot of great modern country rock or southern rock bands. I mean, and people just taking the southern aesthetic as far as music goes and putting different twists on it. If you remember, one of my favorite albums that came out, not last year, but the year before, in 2024, was The Abusements, making punk rock Americana. It was awesome. So anyway, I have my ups and downs with those ones, but the Rubes were really good. The Rubes were, it was a great, middle of the road band, coming from the Americana folksy side, going into the sort of good old boy music. And that's where KATE LEDEUCE and her band comes in with the good old boy music. And being that KATE LEDEUCE was playing at Aces High, it made sense that she sort of dressed apart for their usual crowd. If you haven't known by now the way I talk about Aces High, it is the heavy metal bar. It's where all the metalheads and the punks and some of the bikers all come and hang out. But they do have a penchant for country music. If you go in there, amidst all the framed photos of like the Sex Pistols and the Ramones and the Clash and Motorhead and the Plasmatics, the like, you will see, framed posters of Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard and Hank Williams. So, and I mean, the name of the bar lends itself to be a more like outlaw country bar. It's the Saloon, So yeah, KATE LEDEUCE and the Rubes and Sarah DeGraw all fit right in perfectly. But what I'm getting at is she wanted to dress the vibe. She dressed an all black dress, and she wore her boots. She wore a black cowboy hat and a wig of black hair, and she made herself look. I called her. Get this. I called her Morticia McIntyre. She loved that. Like, while I was at her apartment, she was getting ready, putting everything on, and I kept thinking of ways to just sort of. I kept devising names that so accurately matched what she was going for. A gothic cowgirl. Yep. So I'm thinking, okay, what's one of the most iconic goth women out there? And I think, well, Morticia Addams, she's basically a cultural icon. I also thought about Elvira, but Kate wasn't dressed as skimpy as Elvira. So no, I'm thinking, okay, Morticia and what's a famous country singer? Of course, Dolly Parton. That doesn't seem to fit. Let's see, what about Carrie Underwood? Nah, she doesn't much care for that. She doesn't much care for Carrie. And then, Reba McEntire. So there we go, Morticia McIntyre, and she loved it. She laughed, and I should have said that to her while she was on stage. But anyway, she gets up on stage, plays quite a bit of her new songs, and of course some of her classics. And she tells everybody, "Hey, I got a new EP coming out. We got some music coming out. Hopefully later this year. Well, it is later this year, but hopefully in the next couple months. She's trying to get it out as soon as possible." And I've heard it. I've heard two of the songs they're working on. What they have in the studio, it sounded great. I have insider knowledge. And so yeah, it was a good set. And also I got a note that my sister was with me. And this was my sister's first time seeing Kate perform. My parents had seen her a couple of months ago back in December. And my sister wasn't able to make that show, which sucks because it was one of Kate's best performances that I've seen anyway. And yeah, she wasn't able to make that one. So this was her first time seeing Kate perform, and she could not have been happier. She was just so happy to be out with with her brother, but also with these people that she's been making friends with, and just having a good time. How can you not, right? And one funny thing, this was a kind of a showstopper, and it was. It was perfect because this was the last song of Kate's set. She usually closes her set out with the song Helium Tank Helen, which is from her album Divorcee. And in the very end of the song, she yodels. She does a whole yodel-hee-hoo riff. And when she does it live, she stops everything and says, "Hey guys, I don't think we played it fast enough, and maybe we should do that again." And then they'll just up the tempo a little bit, and it feels like just this, really rapid speed jamboree. And then, but she also, sometimes they would like slow it down and make it sound very metal, just like these slow, lumbering riffs. It's, you know what I'm getting at. Just make it sound like a doom metal song. And she would just do yodel-hee, ooh, and just growl the last part. And she said that she told me that she was talking with her band and saying, "Would you be all right if at the end of Helium Tank Helen, when we do the yodel-hee-hoo part, I want to do it where we slow down and make it metal, but I want you to come up on stage and I just want you to growl. I want you to just kind of riff up on stage. And I go, oh, fuck yeah, I'll do it. I'll do some guttural yodels. That's basically what I did. So yeah, they play that song and it gets to that part. And then Kate invites me up on stage and she leads me in. All right, yodelay. And I go, ooh. And nobody hears it because right as I grab the mic to do my growl, it cuts out. It fucking cuts out. And I didn't notice. And I was just growling away, just doing yodelay, yodelay. And everyone's looking at me like kind of weird. And then my friend Sophia comes up on the stage and then she like fiddles around with the connection, the cable going into the mic. And then I hear the playback like, I go, oh, fuck, you gotta be kidding me. The entire time I was doing my guttural yodels, I was unplugged. So the sound guy from the soundboard, he chimes in saying, hey, Kate, I'm really sorry, but literally right as he started singing, the mic cut out. I think you gotta do that again. And she says, okay, let's do this again. Take 2. And then she once again does the lead in, yodelay, and I go, ooh, and that's when everybody hears it. And everybody is just laughing and smiling, and I'm smiling back, just looking all menacing and yodeling like my heart depended on it. Yodelay, 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 ooh. It just went on like that for the next 2 minutes and people were loving it. And I just set myself off stage like, KATE LEDEUCE. It was funny. And I kept pointing out to everyone, I said, that is a Spinal Tap moment. I mean, think about it. In a Spinal Tap movie, Spinal Tap invites a lucky audience member onto the stage to sing a song with them. And as soon as the kid starts singing, they cut the mic. You can totally see that just being a total dick move in the Spinal Tap universe. That's what I think anyway. So anyway, that was the country show that I went to. And yeah, seeing my girlfriend perform is always a treat. I love watching her perform. I think she's a fantastic singer, fantastic artist, fantastic front woman. She's really got it. If you haven't seen KATE LEDEUCE play, well, she'll be playing in the next within the next couple of months. She's got a show coming up, literally just announced. Like I just saw the flyer for it no more than an hour ago. Like sometime in April. Yeah, April 3rd she'll be playing at Aces again. So yeah, but more on that. If you keep listening in on Tales from the Pit, and if you follow my Instagram, you see all the shows that are coming up. Some of which I don't even mention here, either because I forgot about them, or I had just been privy to the information that they were happening. So now I'm like, okay, well, if you can't catch it on the video, at least you can see the flyer on the Instagram. So, I mean, if I'm your only source for shows that are happening around your area, then maybe you gotta seek new outlets. But I'm saying you don't have to stop listening to me. I mean, I'm here doing my part. If you like hearing this shit and you like, and this is the best way you think you're informed, then by all means, keep listening. I'm not going to stop you. We need the views. We don't need the money. Well, I mean, I need the money, but we're not making money off of this. I tell you, we're not. Monetization. Fuck no, we are not monetized. We are anti-monetized. Moving on. My next tale from the pit. Now, this was a show that I was looking forward to for months, and this was the show that another reason I was looking forward to this show was because it had a band on there that my friend and my guitarist for both Apathetics and Anonymous, Josh Leland, absolutely loves. I'm talking about Death by Stereo. He saw Death by Stereo back in the day in like some of the early Warped Tour days, like around he said 2002, I think, was when he saw them at Warped Tour, and he hung out with them, and he got to know them. They were all really chill with him, and he had not seen them since. But yeah, he actually showed them to me. I mean, I knew of Death by Stereo. I had listened to them before because they were on like Warped Tour compilations, and I would listen to them on there, like Punkorama volumes. That's where I knew of them, and that's where I heard their music, but I never went out of my way to listen to their whole album until I met Josh. And Josh showed me the album. It's not their first album, their second album. The first album they released on Epitaph, Day of the Dead. And I absolutely fell in love with that. I thought it was just amazing. It was so hardcore, but also the singer, Ephraim Scholz, can sound so hardcore, but also just make him sound so goofy at the same time. Like, he'll be yelling and screeching in your face one minute, and then he'll just take this sort of, I don't know how else to describe it. It's just you gotta hear it. It's almost cartoonish, but it's good. It's good. It works in the setting of what Death by Stereo's music is. It's sort of like a more hardcore version of Pennywise. I'll say that. I'll say that. It's very like SoCal skate punk energy, but a lot harder. Much harder. Anyway, so that's how. So yeah, being that Josh like really got me hooked on those guys, properly introduced. When I saw that they were coming, when I saw that they were coming with Wilhelm Scream, I told him, dude, we gotta fucking go to this. All right, shit, we'll do it. And then I went and bought both of our tickets, and I told him, I sent him a text like, you're not doing anything Saturday, right? Says, no, I don't think so. Okay, good, you fucking are now. We're going to see Wilhelm Scream and Death by Stereo. He's just, oh, fuck, I forgot about that show. Oh, how much do I owe for the tickets? None, man. This is my gift to you. He's been having a really hard time lately. With family stuff, personal stuff. And it's just been a rough few weeks for him. And this was the time where I was like, dude, you just need to come and let loose. We're going to go see an awesome fucking hardcore show. One band I know you haven't seen yet, or you have seen, but you just don't appreciate them as you should. And if I'm going to see what Death by Stereo with anyone, it's going to be you. So we are going. And we did. I get down to the show, and it's in the middle of Doomsday set. Me and Josh went separately. He had to hang back and do his hair. I'm actually not joking. He had to put up his mohawk, and it took him a long time. He actually didn't get to the show until Death by Stereo was playing at that point. But either way, we're not there yet. I was there watching Doomsday, and Doomsday was awesome. They were just an awesome crossover band, and as I was watching them, I just couldn't get over the fact that they sounded pretty identical to Power Trip. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? It makes sense. Power Trip was the biggest crossover band of the last 15 years. So anyone who is starting a thrash project these days that appeals to hardcore kids as well is going to sound pretty identical to them. But at least it's good. I mean, crossover, there's not a lot of breadth that you can do with that genre. So, but when I say I say that they sounded pretty close to them, but even their singer looked like Riley Gale. He's just this skinny guy with long hair, and he's wearing a camo ball cap. I go, yep, these guys know exactly what they're doing. But that's not to dog on them. Doomsday was a good band. They were awesome guys to talk to. I talked to them at their merch table, and I even bought their cassette. They're definitely worth checking out. But it is funny that knowing what a band like Death by Stereo is and a band like Wilhelm Scream is, having a crossover Power Trip worship band opening up for them. I'm like, okay, this is a little odd, but not too odd. I feel like this is all going to come together seamlessly in the end. And it did. But I'll tell that in a minute. Anyway, Death by Stereo comes on and immediately just start ripping it on stage. They open up their show with holding $60 on a burning bridge. And that is one to really get the crowd participating, bringing everybody, inciting everybody to come in on the pile up during the chorus going, "No, I won't! Back down! No, I won't! Back down!" It was wild. It was a wild start already. And their singer, Ephraim Schultz, he was all over the damn place. I mean, he didn't stay on stage. He got down into the crowd, started pushing people around, getting all the dancing going. He even got past like this little safety barrier beyond the dance floor, like the dance floor in the common area separated by one bar. Yeah, an actual metal bar. He goes over the bar and starts getting into all the bystanders' faces, just yelling all these songs. It was incredible. It was just so awesome. These guys are, in their 40s, 50s at this point, and they're still playing like they're in their 20s. And oh my God, their energy was spastic. And the audience was indeed reacting. People were going nuts. People were slamming around. They were dancing. We had one guy diving off the stage. I honestly thought there would be more stage dives, but yeah, well, you can't win them all, I guess. Oh man, it was just an insane time. It was everything that I wanted it to be. Too bad Josh wasn't there for the first 4 songs. He shows up, his mohawk all done up nice and purple on one side, black on the other, and he was ready to rock out. And he did. He was pissed at himself for being so late into the show. I go, don't worry, you're still catching the bulk of the set. Oh boy, it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny. I don't think it was, I don't think it dampened his spirits too much. But I also had to point out that the only hair that rivaled his mohawk in that entire room was their guitarist Dan Palmer's mustache. His nickname is literally the Mustache. He had this Salvador Dali-like handlebar mustache. It was insane. You look up any picture of him, you know what I mean. And he's just rocking it. And all the time, he is just shredding away and just pounding away on that guitar and just with a big old smile on his face. It was a killer set. My only wish is that they played the song Porno, Sex, Drugs, Lies, Money, and Your Local Government. It was one of the first songs I ever intently listened to by them, but you can't win them all. I would love it if they played the entirety of the Day of the Death album, but again, it's sort of just wishful thinking. But they did play a lot of good songs nonetheless. And they played some of their newer material. They do have some new material coming out, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited for Death by Stereo. They still are kicking ass. Definitely kicked mine. So yeah, Death by Stereo, that was the main band I really wanted to see, mainly because I had not seen them. I had not seen them ever. Wilhelm Scream, I had seen them 3 times, and this was going to be my 4th. And you know, if you don't see Wilhelm Scream, you're actually kind of fucking up, because they are a riot live. They are one of the most technically precise bands. Like, I honestly think that they could have had a future in being like, and being jazz musicians. Or something to that degree, because they are so technically precise in their music. And they're wasting their time playing in a punk band. Yeah. But whatever. They always, no matter how precise you sound on the album, it doesn't mean shit if you can't play that live and bring that same energy to your performance. These guys, they do. They bring plenty of the bravado that you hear in the music onto the stage, and then they turn everything up to 11. are one of the most intense live bands I have ever seen, especially when they come out with a classic like Me versus Morrissey in the Pretentious contest, and follow that up with I Wipe My Ass with Showbiz, two of my favorite songs by Wilhelm Scream. Okay, you got my attention. Time to get back into it. And Wilhelm Scream, yeah, they were wild. They matched the energy of Death by Stereo. Well, I mean, maybe not so much matched it because, their singer Nuno, he didn't get into the crowd, but he was very personable with them. And they just rattled off a lot of great songs like Soft Cell and Bag of Dicks, and then stuff like Last Laugh, and also Midnight Ghost, which is a new one. And yeah, they did play some of the new singles, and they have a new album that is coming out literally by the time you're hearing this. It's I'm recording this as of February 26th, 2025. Their new album is coming out on the 27th. Why can't I remember? Yeah. Tunnel Vision. No, Cheap Heat. Tunnel Vision is the name of one of their songs. My bad. But yeah, that new album is coming out, and the 3 singles that came out, they are awesome. So it stands to reason that the rest of the album should be. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. So yeah, the whole Wilhelm Scream show was just badass. They put on a hell of a set. And of course the showstopper was Horse. The Horse, the one where their bassist gets to shred on the bass a little bit and show off. It was the first song I ever heard by Wilhelm Scream. If you want more on that, if you want more information about that song and the album on which it resides, I refer you to the SLC Punkcast episode, 400 and something. No, not even 398. So close. It's a great album, great from a great band. I mean, all the bands on here were great. They were all pretty different sounding, but the energy was kept at an all-time high. It was an awesome show, and I got my Day of the Death LP. That's one that's been on my list for a while, and I also got the Wilhelm Scream set list. Not directly from the stage. It was given to her by one of the band members, this audience member who was right next to me. And then I was striking up a conversation with this lady on how we love Wilhelm Scream. And I said, this is my 4th time seeing them. And I said, the last time I saw them was all the way in Milan, Italy. And she was really taken aback like that. What? Because she was saying how she had traveled far. She had... to see them. She saw them in Canada. She also saw them in Florida. And then I'm like, it wasn't me just trying to one-up her or anything. It's just, the last time I saw him was in Milan. And she had so much respect about that she just gave me the set list. I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. Are you sure? I mean, I'll take it, but are you sure? So she had it. So she gave me the set list. That was very nice of her. So yeah, I walked away from that show with some great memories and some great memorabilia. And yeah, it was, if anything, it was just awesome being at a show with my friend. And me and him, we hadn't been at a show together, like not one where we were playing. We'd never gone out and been to a show in a long time. And like I said, this was definitely needed for him. And he thanked me about 1,000 times. So thank you for bringing my ticket, or buying my ticket. Thank you for bringing me out. Thank you for just being awesome. I love you. And thank you this, thank you that. I go, dude, it was awesome. It was my pleasure. I am so happy that you got to come out. I'm so happy that, that I know that you're like sober right now, but it's great to share a beer with you. Because, I mean, given your circumstances, yeah, you're allowed to break sobriety for a night. And not go off the rails, because we know how you could get. He's a lovely drunk. Anyway, those are my tales from the pit. Such a... yeah, it was a party-filled weekend. 2 shows, 2 nights, 2 Very different vibes, very different music, but all the same, it was a good time. Good time all around. Now, what's coming up? There's plenty that are coming up. I mean, not the end of January, the end of February is looking pretty dense. Like on the very last day of February, the 28th, we got 4 shows that I got to talk about. One of which is a little local festival. And that festival is the Save Me From My Room. Well, that's the production company. Save Me From My Room. They're presenting the SLC Emo Fest. And this including the bands Rosharon, A Place We've Always Been, Gira, Arcadia Fades, and Lost Not Found, and Tomorrow We Fly, My Pet Spider, Words of Contempt, Sutures, Misbegotten, Beretta, and Coloplasia. That is going to be taking place up north at the Black Lung Society. It's going to be $15, and that beast is going to start at 2:30 in the afternoon. But meanwhile, some of us down here in good old Salt Lake are going to be busy with other things. First off, Magda Vega is playing at Aces with Unseen Corners and Red Pete, who is replacing, what was it, Dragster? I can't remember the name of the band. But you'll see them on the flyer. That band is not playing anymore. Red Pete is playing. But I won't be at that show. The other show that I will be at is Gogo Bordello with Puzzles Panther and Boris and the Joy. I've not seen Gogo Bordello in years. I think the last time I saw them was, 2016, 2017. And I was going to go see them when they came through just a couple years ago, but I was at another show that night, so I had to sort of pick and choose. But this time, I don't have any other obligations. I am going to see Gogo. I'm going to see Gogo Bordello. I've only seen him twice. That is not enough. I need to see him again. Anyway, that's going to be at the Union Events Center downtown. It's a $46 show. I did check. It still is $46, and it starts at 7 p.m. Then moving into March. On the 4th, we got 2 shows. We have Ajara Unmoved and Forever War playing at One Love Coffee. That's a $15 show. It's going to start at 7 p.m. Meanwhile, over at the Complex, Volumes, Notions, and Cat's Claw are coming through Salt Lake, and we have our friends in Snuff Tape opening up for them. Good for them. They haven't played the Complex yet. They haven't really played any big venues, so good for them. Complex is kind of meh, but yeah, more power to them. I love those guys. I hope they get good exposure. Anyway, that's a $35 show. It starts at 7 p.m. Then on the 5th, we got pretty stacked line of shows here. First off, we have Final Gasp, Recidivist, and Skin Show, all playing at Aces High. That's $15 if you buy it right now, $20 if you pay at the door, and that starts at 7 p.m. Meanwhile, Box Elder, Shift Meal, Venus Death Trap, and Mexican Hockey are playing at the Pearl on Main down in Midvale. That is a $10 show, starts at 7 p.m. And then there's going to be the SLC Tattoo Expo that's going on pretty much all of that weekend. And if you're not interested in tattoos, which I don't know, I think you should be. I mean, some of the art's pretty cool, I guess. There is a show that is going on alongside that with our friends Manic Hispanic. It is awesome that they're still hanging around. And we have my friends in Don't Trust Anybody, DTA, opening up for them. That's going to be taking place at the Depot. It's a staggering $60 show. I know. And it starts at 8 p.m. A 2-band bill for $60 at the Depot. Hey, that's the Tattoo Expo. What do you expect? And then March 6th also got a pretty good stack of shows here. First, there's Words of Contempt. Then 2 steps ahead, Sutures, and One-Sided at the Fellowship Hall. It's $10 to enter and starts at 7 p.m. Also on the 6th, Mortis, Plumeria, Sabotage, and Angel Slaughter are going to be playing up at the Black Lung Society. It is $12 if you're paying in cash, $15 if you're paying for through Venmo. Starts at 7 p.m. And the show that you should definitely go to is Warm Veins, having their album release show. Not only just because my band Anonymous is also playing for them, but Warm Veins is an awesome, heavier shoegaze band that my friend Josh has started up after Suffocator went on hiatus. They're a great band. It's a great album. Great album that they technically have released it. I guess this is like the physical release that they're doing. It's going to be an awesome show no matter what. Unless it gets canceled, then there will be no show. And that's just going to suck for everybody. But like I said, my band Anonymous is also playing is Vape Plug and Gracemaker. That's going to be at Aces High. It's $10 admittance and starts at 8 p.m. And then the 7th is it's a busy day for a lot of people. It's going to be busy for, well, as follows: Sectide, Baghead, Do Not Resuscitate, and Kiss Your Idols. They're going to be playing all the way down in Provo, Utah at this place called The Speakeasy. And that's a nice $5 show. Starts at 7 p.m. Bring some culture down there. Thank you. Also on the 7th, back up here at my house is Mellow Panic, Never Don'ts, The Apathetics, and Knuckles and Pirates of the Promised Land. I'm excited because this is one of Mellow Panic's first show. That's my friend Zach. It's one of his new bands. And Never Don'ts, I know they've been wanting to play my house for quite some time, and I love Never Don'ts. As my friend Conrad, we've been homies forever, and you know how I feel about his band Never Don'ts. I think they're awesome. And of course I'm going to be playing that show, and I've never seen Ann Knuckles perform, but I hear they're good. I hear they're good. Pirates of the Promised Land, I've seen them, I play with them, they are fun. It's going to be a fun show. And Poser Palace is going to be no more after this because, well, I'm leaving that place. And for various other reasons. Because, the main reason, there's going to be a newborn in that house. Can't have that. Can't have a newborn, and we can't have, shows there. Because that's just not a good combination. Just not a good combination. So yeah. Sorry, guys. Poser Palace is going to be no more after this. So this is your last chance. $5, starts at 6. But yeah, also going on on the 7th, the Kilby Block Party is going to be upon us. I believe it is next month, and it's either April or May. I don't remember, but they are doing like some warm-up shows. This local showcase is going on at Kilby Court, featuring the bands Chalk, Nadezda, Star 67, and Gonk. And that's a $10 show. Well, if you buy it now, it's $10. If you pay at the door, $12. And that is going to be starting at 7 p.m. And finally, on the 7th, Black Label Society is coming back to Utah, and who should be opening up for them but Zakk Wylde's other band, Zakk Sabbath. If you're familiar with the works of Zakk Wylde and all of his projects, you know what Zakk Sabbath is. It's just, I guess he's doing that because, Black Sabbath has officially ended, Ozzy Osbourne is gone, and yeah, he needs an excuse to get Zakk Sabbath to go on a full-length tour, so it might as well be piggybacking on his main band. But also the fact that Zakk Wylde has also played with Ozzy for a number of years. He's been one of his main guitarists. Even when he went away for a while in 2010 to 2013, because Ozzy was focused on getting sober, and we know Zakk Wylde really loves to drink, so yeah, he couldn't be around that for too long. Not if you're trying to get sober. But anyway, yeah, Black Label Society, Zakk Sabbath, and the band Dark Chapel, the foil to Whitechapel, I suppose. That's going to be at the Union. With all the fees and taxes included, it's a $57 show, and that's going to be starting at 6 p.m. So yeah, the shows, for the last week, I've been adding to the list. I've been getting so many bands have been announcing tours, And a lot of them are coming through Salt Lake, and I'm going, okay, fine, let's get this one on the list. Let's get this one. Let's get this one. They're all on the calendar. People are really, people really want to be hitting the road these days, and you know what? I don't blame them. So, yeah, get out and rock out, fellas. That's gonna be it for me. Those are all the shows that I have that are coming up. Some of which I'll be attending. I hope that you guys are able to attend a few. And even if you're not attending and don't plan on attending any of these shows, I just hope you have a good week. And yeah, if you go to one of these shows, I hope you have a good time. I hope you stay safe, and I hope that you come out unscathed. And if you don't, hopefully you have a cool story to go along with it. As usual, I am your host, Eric the Unit Norris from SLC Punkcast, Live and Wired, and Tales from the Pit. I hope that you will join me next week for some more tales, for some more story time with your old Uncle Eric, scary Uncle Eric. If you follow my main Instagram account, you know what that is. Not my professional one, my personal one. All right, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna hand this over to Dustin. Dustin, it's on you. I'll see you guys in the pit.
Thank you, Eric. And now we will go around the world. Got a tour coming up, Bad Time Records tour. It'll feature Kill Lincoln, Jer, and Bad Operation. So be on the lookout. It's kind of far out, but they will be in Salt Lake City on March 11th, so I'm looking forward to them, and they'll be playing with a variety of bands. Sorry, Sweetheart, when they come to my town. But as you can see on the bottom, 2:30, the Pomps, Flying Raccoon Suit, the Best of the Worst, Omnigon, the Doom Stompers. This will be a handful of shows in March, and then a bunch more in June. So we'll talk more about that one in the not too distant future. Then we're going to go to January 28th. This one is in Vitry-sur-Seine in France. You'll get to see Total Chaos, Reclaimed, Sonder Rage. I think that's Sonder Rage. Cool band there with Total Chaos. I think I've heard Reclaimed. But nonetheless, a killer hardcore show. That's at La Cunda at, looks like 5 o'clock. Wow, damn. A little early, but get there, and there's a bunch of other details. You can go over to Total Chaos if you want to get any more of the details. Our pals in the Wynonas have more shows coming. They got one in March early, and then a couple others a little bit later. You can kind of see on that top left, March 7th in Hackney, Ipswich on the 21st, and Cambridge on the 22nd. A lot more shows. That's kind of what their 2026 lineup is looking like. Then the Hempsteadies kind of doing their same thing. Their spring 2026 shows on February 28th. They'll be at the Common Room in Middletown, Connecticut. Then on March 12th in Hamden at Space Ballroom. And then they got a few other shows in April and May coming. They got a new album due out, Dead Are Undead. So be on the lookout for stuff from the Hempsteadies. Next up, we've got Lucy. They're playing in Gainesville, and that is actually on February 24th, so that one happened. I don't know why that one is on there, but I'll show you the flyer because I love Lucy. Hopefully you had a chance to check them out. Next up, we're going to go to Circle Jerks. Just started a tour. It is in Tokyo, so they're over in Japan right now with Gorilla Biscuits, 7 Seconds, Negative Approach, Murphy's Law, Cruel Band, and Cosmic something or another. I can't read the font there. Cosmic Joke. Oh, all right. There you go. Cosmic Joke. They're in Tokyo, and then, they just are wrapping up Tokyo, kind of as we're doing this right now. And then they've got Ohio and Pennsylvania in late March. They got a bunch of stuff in April. So a lot of stuff coming up. I guess kind of a big gap there. I didn't really notice that. Then we'll go to March 4th, Beton Army, Sikkim, Klaxon, Search Warrant, and Off the Top. They will be in Providence, Rhode Island. It is a 7 p.m. all-ages show, $20 at Black Box. So go check them out, brought to us by Clockwork Productions. You know where to be if you're going to be in Providence. Starting this week on the 26th, the day I'm doing this, they're in Toledo, Ohio, but they'll be in Erie, PA coming up Friday, Saturday in Louisville. Then Alabama, They got a handful of shows in Florida up through the 7th, Georgia, South Carolina. So pretty much up and down the East Coast, it looks like. You got some shows with Mongrel, Collateral, Combust. Go check out Terror if they're in your town for their winter tour. And then I'm going to wrap this up with this weekend. Dr. Strange Records presents Jenny Wu, The Uprising, Riot Gun, Buff, Hunky Dory. It's a free show on February 28th. Vendors and food. Show starts at noon, so that is Saturday. That will be, it looks like, at Dr. Strange Records. So at least I assume that's where that is. So make sure you go check that out. Apologize about the one. Got a bunch of tours excited about. March will be definitely busy. Thank you to Eric for his Tales from the Pit and his live and wired portion of the show. And join us again, as we do next week, for more Live and Wired and Tales from the Pit when they're there.